Yo, what is going on, everyone? I'm back with another review video. It is going to be on my Vancer Ice mousepad. Thank you so much to Vancer for sending this out. And the very first thing I want to touch base on is actually the stitched edging. It is ridiculously incredible to see the quality of the stitch edging, because this is actually one of my biggest pet peeves on pads when they're a little bit raised or a little bit abrasive. But this is ridiculously amazing quality for a $31 pad. It is like completely flush with the surface itself. And the only true way that you would actually feel the abrasion coming from the stitched edge is only because the surface itself is quite cold if you use an AC. Like, that's the only way I can actually differentiate between the stitched edge and the pad itself, only because the surface is going to be cold. So if I'm rubbing my arm up and down like this, I don't really notice a difference, again, other than temperature. In terms of the base itself, you can see that I am actually moving this pad quite a bit, but I'm using a lot of force with this. And then another thing too is it's never moved in aim trainers or even in games. It has not moved at all from where it is planted. But I do think the biggest reason is going to be because it doesn't really lay completely flat out of the box. And it's, it's something that I can kind of get over because, like I said, it's a $31 pad and it's really, really incredible performance. So I kind of overlook it just a little bit. In terms of what mouse feet to use, I have used the Vaxi stock skates on the XE. I've used BTL, and I think I've used now Sapphire. And out of all of them, easily the best one for me is stock skates on Vaxi mice. You could use maybe core pads, Tiger Arc 1s, maybe slower feet. I feel like the only reason I like that combo is because it gives me more stopping power. And I also don't feel like it tugs a lot on the pad with these stock skates, and I don't feel like the glide is inconsistent. I know that I said before that my main combo with the Vaxi XE is going to be the Serapad, and that still is my main combo. And I'm not trying to say that this combination is my personal favorite out of this and the Serapad. I still do like the Serapad more, but I will just talk about the slight similarities between the two combinations. The biggest one is I feel like the initial friction is lower on the Serapad, which I prefer, and that is due to the skates that I'm using. Don't let that fool you. If you're using something maybe like Tiger Ice Feet, I think both would have like very similar initial friction. I do feel like the Vancer Ice is more noticeably higher than the Serapad is. The other thing too is the glide. I like the glide on the Serapad a lot better, and I do feel like it's a lot more consistent, but the glide on this is a lot like a cloud. It feels really, really comfortable and really nice to track with. In terms of the stopping power, I think this is where I like the Vancer Ice a little bit more than the Serapad combination. It has much more stopping power than the Serapad that I've noticed at the very least. I feel like the Vancer Ice has a better stopping power experience with the Vaxi mouse specifically. I do think heavier mice might be the way to go for me, at least. In terms of BTL skates, these are honestly much more controlled than the Vaxi XE stock skates in my opinion. I think if you already have like a modded out mouse, you could just go for BTL skates or core pads, Tiger Arc 1s, like I said, if you want more stopping power. If you want as speedy as you could possibly go, maybe these Sapphire Dots from Infinity Mice, thank you so much for sending them out, might be the way to go. These are crazy fast. It doesn't feel like there's a mouse in my hand. It's actually like slipping out. If I could just do like a quick little glide test, this thing will go off the pad. It's pretty ridiculous how low the initial friction is. And the weird thing is it only happens with this kind of pad. I was using a GameSense Rush earlier, and these felt a lot more controlled, so it's pretty incredible to see that they can change depending on the pad you use. Although this wouldn't be my main combination in terms of skates, I think stock skates, just slower skates overall, are just been a lot better for me. I feel like I'm a lot more consistent. I play very similar. Fast skates have always made me a little bit more inconsistent. In terms of this logo itself, it's a lot like the GPZ1, the Rocket Jump Ninja mousepad. It's just like a little flap. I understand that every company should, at the very least, have some sort of logo here and there because it's like a marketing thing. I totally understand that. But this flap, although I've never gone here, and I could understand that you may never go over here, it's just a little bit annoying to see it at all. I think if you did it like the GPZ one, where you could tuck it underneath the pad, it would be a much better option. Or if it hung off, a lot like this strap all the way over here on my Wooting, I feel like if it hung off not anywhere on the surface, it would also be a much better improvement. In terms of the surface itself, I will be making, really quick, I will be making comparisons to the Artisan Shinenkai, really because I feel like it's the only true to form competitor. I know that the Shinenkai is dead, or rest in peace, And I understand that the Glorious Ice might be a better competitor because those two products are actually in stock regularly. However, I hate Glorious and I don't want to buy any of their products ever again. So I'm just going to just take the better option and compare it to a mouse pad that doesn't suck. So first off, the biggest thing that this pad has over the Shinkai is it can be rolled and shipped in a really nice tube. I think the tube is really nice. It's pretty thick cardboard, to be honest, so I'm not too worried about it being damaged when it comes shipped. Another thing too is the firmness of this pad. I think this pad, if I was going to compare it between like a mid and a soft, it's more towards mid, but it's at least soft enough for me to press my finger through. I am unable to do that with a mouse, like at all. I could not press into this mouse pad at all. I maybe could get like a little bit firmer. You can see that I'm shaking my monitor, but honestly, I don't think you could dig into this pad regularly as much as you could in Artisan Soft. Another thing this pad has over the Shinkai is this pad should be much more durable. The glass is actually infused into the pad itself rather than it being a glass coating like the Shinkai. The other thing too is for as long as I've had this pad, it feels exactly the same as day one, unlike my Shinkai, which I think after a month of like moderate use, it wasn't even that heavy. I did notice some slowdown right in the center. The base obviously is not going to beat Artisan. The stitched edging, while I wouldn't say it beats Artisan, it is still ridiculously incredible. Like I said, $31 completely flush with the pad. I can't, like, off the top of my head, can't think of too many pads that are in that similar price range that are a speed pad that have this level of quality. But yeah, that pretty much is all from my review. I really, really like this pad. I think it's honestly, I would use this for Valorant even now. I would obviously use it with slower mouse feet, something like maybe a bigger mouse too, because I've noticed bigger mice when they fit in my palm just give me a lot more control, and I think that's why I was able to use this pad with the XE. But this pad is, I can't exaggerate how good this pad is for the price, because it doesn't really skip on anything. The base is really generic, but tons of companies use this base. They didn't skip out on the stitch edging quality. It's all good quality for a really, really low price. And you can get it a little bit cheaper. Use code Colossal at Lethal Gaming Gear to get this pad so you can make me a millionaire. But yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next upload. Peace.
God. You can win that. It's very winnable. God.
残り1名
Damn, so
$378. I hate it.
排除した
I was already around the corner. How did he kill me?
け 敵残り1名移動